Hello, pro wrestling fans. It's me, Joe Monroe, and today is the third episode of the Podcasters Appreciation Month. But before I introduce my guest, we're going to shout out some sponsors here. First sponsor we have is Phenomenal Finds ATL. If you collect anything retro-wise from The Simpsons to pro wrestling, heck, even the Rugrats, Phenomenal Finds ATL probably has it. So go check them out at phenomenalfindsatl.com. As well as our partners, Triple Crown Wrestling and Ultimate Championship Wrestling. We do exclusive coverage for both companies, and they're bringing back professional wrestling as it should be to the state of Kentucky, as well as Les Murphy Painting. If you have any painting situations and you need to get them taken care of, contact Les Murphy at 734-334-3702. And I don't want to thank, but I do want to thank Brandon T. Wilson Walrus. These pictures will be handed out at the next Triple Crown event this Saturday. But I'm not here to talk about Triple Crown Wrestling. I'm actually here. We're going to talk about one of the original followers of the Joe Monroe Show, good friend of the show, good friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, from wrestling, from the 313, my boy, Mike D. What's up, Mike? How's it going, man?
What's going on, man? You all right?
I'm tired, but doing good, bro.
I hear that, man. I had the day off, man, but I had a dentist appointment. But I'm good. I'm good.
True. I don't know what's worse, work or dentist.
Both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We get there. There is some people who will go to both.
Right.
But man, I appreciate you being a part of this. This is a chance for me to get you shouted out here. Hopefully, we get you some more followers, and hopefully, people will recognize wrestling from the 313, literally. And for those who don't know what 313 is, it's the area code for Detroit, Michigan. And
Yes,
as
sir.
a lot of pro wrestling enthusiasts know, the original Sheik, he came out of Detroit. That's where he had a main stable back in the day. We'll talk about that a little later on. But Mike, oh God, we already got Friends of the Squared Circle on here saying number one beard in the house. You know what? You forgot. You left this man hanging yesterday, bro. You left Mike D out of all people hanging. How dare you, Cal? How dare you? You are no longer number one beard. I'm number one beard by default now. So, there you go. I know what's worse. Ha. He said he knows what's worse than the 13 Cards podcast.
Hey, they always going back and forth, man.
God almighty. But you know what, Mike, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get you the solo layout here, give you the spotlight, and I'm going to ask some questions. So,
Right.
What made you start wrestling from the 313, man?
Man, you know what? I was always like interested in podcasting, just listening to like sports podcasts, like basketball, football, stuff like that. And I would listen to some wrestling podcasts like Busted Open and Sports Keeta. So originally, I had a podcast that I was doing on Anchor, and I actually called it the Too Sweet Podcast. That was kind of like my way of paying homage to the NWO, my favorite faction, as you can see, got the belt. And that's kind of where the design of the hoodie, that's kind of where that came from, the NWO. So I did maybe like 4 episodes on Anchor, and I think I had put them on the Spotify. And I had stopped for a while, but then when I wanted to get back into it, I was like, let me look up and see how many Too Sweet podcasts it is. And it was so many Too Sweet podcasts. I was just like, nope, I can't do it. If I'm going to do this, I got to come up with something, a name that's original and it's something I like. So a little bit after that, I was on Facebook looking for like wrestling podcast groups. And I came across Friends of the Square Circle. Crander Q, he had made a post looking for guests for his show. So I said, you know what? This would be a nice way for me to kind of get my feet wet a little bit. So I reached out to him, and I was a guest on his show a little bit, about a little bit over a year ago. And ever since then, I always had that itch. I had that itch to do it, but I couldn't think of like what to call the podcast. So I'm still thinking. So I get on the internet and I found one of those wrestling generator podcast names or whatever. And one of the names was like wrestling from the 213, or it was another area code. So I was just thinking like wrestling from the 313, and it just clicked. And I kept it since then. And you know, when I'm not doing a podcast, I'm just making content, just asking people questions about certain things going on in wrestling. And it's been fun. You know, I've been doing this less than a year. It feels like I've been doing it more than that, but it's been a fun ride. I've met a lot of cool people, a lot of supportive people. Wrestling community has been like mad cool, man, for real.
Right, I hear that. Wow, that was I didn't know Cal was Friends of the Square Circle was a big reason of that. Now I kind of feel bad for not giving him props.
No.
But that's really cool, man. That's not many people, believe it or not, are doing coverage of the 313. And I know you said earlier, I think it was yesterday in a post, you said you was going to try to talk to independent promotions about covering for them. And I think that'd be a great way for you to continue your growth because you are growing.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
I agree with you that that's a great way to continue your growth, especially in the Detroit area, because there's a lot of rich wrestling history within Detroit.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
we were talking off camera. We were talking about the original Sheik. That's where his main stable was at. It was in the Detroit area,
yeah.
and there was a lot of wrestling that came through there. I mean, heck, WrestleMania was in Detroit for crying out loud. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And I don't think a lot of people know that Kevin Nash is from Detroit too.
yep, he is actually a Detroit guy. So,
Yep.
not many
Yeah.
people, they probably think he's from Florida still or something, whatever.
Right.
Which I don't know. I don't know what's up with wrestlers in Florida. It's like the stereotypical like back in the 80s and 70s, all the old people go to Florida or Vegas.
Yeah.
Now it's all the old school wrestlers go to Florida.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like you say that because it's like WWE got their training facility in Florida, but their headquarters is in Stanford. So it's just like, why don't y'all just move to Florida? You know? And then AEW got their headquarters in Florida, in Jacksonville. So
Yeah.
yeah, Florida is that go-to place when it comes to wrestling.
Right. But we was talking off camera too. We know Detroit has hit some, especially during the recession, got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
But now it's slowly making a comeback. Talk a little bit about that if you want to.
Oh man, it's just been on the rise. They've been taking care of the downtown area. Certain parts of the city they've been fixing up, just making it more for the community to come out and do things. And our sports teams, the Detroit Lions, they had a real good season. Despite all the bad years they've had, that season that they just had, it did a lot for our city. Like, brought a lot of people together. A lot of people were happy, and just a lot of good things are happening in Detroit. And I'm just excited for what they got coming in the future, and definitely want to see what they got in the future as far as like wrestling as well.
Right. So in the future for wrestling, what do you? I always ask this, or going to start asking this, I should say. What do you see the future of wrestling from the 313? What do you? What's kind of like a 5 year plan that you have for it? What's some ideas, if you want to share?
You know what? And it's crazy. Like, I think my next goal is, like I said, I just want to like interview people from the area. You know what I'm saying? The city of Detroit, um, even outside of Detroit, our suburban cities, they do pretty good. They have a lot of independent shows. Um, I know Rhino has he owns a promotion here in Michigan, and it'll just be pretty cool to just reach out to other independent wrestlers from the area to that have my podcast be like that platform where they can just come tell their story, promote whatever events and stuff they're gonna be at, and just just put myself on the map and then put them on the map as well. And then, even have promoters on the show, come and tell their story on why, what got them started on being a promoter and everything. So just to, just be that outlet for people to come and tell their story. That's pretty much. And then I started the t-shirt line and hoodie line and stuff. And when I started this, I thought about the Detroit versus everybody t-shirts. And those t-shirts were out during the time when Detroit was going through the rough period, the stuff with the mayor and just the crime rate and everything. And it was just kind of like, that was our thing, Detroit versus everybody. It just felt like everybody was against us because they were always just talking bad about Detroit. But I want wrestling from the 313, like the t-shirts and the hoodies. I just want it to be not what the Detroit versus everybody t-shirt stood for, but just to be that t-shirt when people going to the indie shows or going to WWE in Detroit, and just wanted to be that name, man.
Right, and you got that set up on the on your TikTok shop,
Yep.
and man, that's actually pretty cool. I may have to look at that here in a minute. But yeah, man, that's really cool. I recently just started selling shirts myself.
Okay.
They've been selling pretty good.
Cool.
Um, so yeah, I totally get it. Like you want your brand to be represented out there,
Yeah.
and I think that you have a great opportunity, especially in the Detroit area, to continue building something up that nobody is building up in that area. As far as my knowledge is, you're about the only one that I know of.
And then it's just like also too, and I just been here thinking about it today. Like, I want to, reach out more out to my hometown, my home state and everything. But it's like I'm also kind of thinking of ways to like, okay, what can I do to show love to the other people in the other states? People in Minnesota or people in Philly or Chicago or New York. So I don't know. I'm just thinking of ways, little merchandise ideas that I got that, they can still watch wrestling from the 313, but what can I do to show the other states love? So
Well,
stay tuned.
I'm looking on your TikTok shop. You have the selection to do different colors shirts,
Yeah,
not just
yeah,
black and white, but it's like blue and white. There's even a yellow and white, so that's pretty good. Like state color representation, I love it.
yeah,
Uh, and not only that, looks like you got hats as well and all that. Dude, what the heck?
yeah. Yeah, just like I said, just was just creating the stuff through the website or whatever, and just coming up with just ideas. And a lot of the colors that I've the color schemes on there just come from like our sports teams. One of the colors that I got on there is my old high school colors. So I just be having a lot of ideas with like color schemes and stuff. So I'm just want to put a lot together, not just for the merchandise and stuff, but just for the podcast too.
Right. So, you want to interview different people. Have you ever tried to interview like any independent wrestler or a wrestler in general or any wrestling personality for the show as of yet?
Oh yeah. My first wrestler that I had on my show was C Rex. She's a female wrestler. She's from Memphis. Um, she's a badass. She's been tearing it up in the independent. She's won a couple of championships. Um, I've interviewed Bam Page. He's a promoter out of the UK, off the chain wrestling. He was a pretty cool dude. We had a real good conversation. And just recently, my last episode was Johnny Cass. Um, he's a good friend of Crander Q, if I'm correct. He's from Iowa, and he's the Midwest Pro Gaming champion right now. And he's a real cool dude too. His story, just talking about wrestling and just the grind and what it takes to takes to succeed as a pro wrestler. It was a cool episode. So, you know, if anybody is watching this now, go to Wrestling from 313 on YouTube and check out those episodes.
Uh, uh, all right,
Had to
man.
do a quick plug real quick.
No, I was going to say at the end, we'll get all that plugged in here. As a matter of fact, I'm slacking on my job here. I made a freaking banner, and there we go. Uh,
Sweet.
I don't know why I'm slacking here. I guess I'm freaking tired. I apologize, bro.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
But I think it's really cool that you're doing this stuff. And you seem very professional. You seem to love the sport of professional wrestling, and you respect it. And that's why I wanted definitely you on here. Not only have you been a big supporter of what I do, or and vice versa, but you take pro wrestling very seriously. And I want to say I appreciate that because there is people out there that don't, but you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a few others that have selected to do it this month, 100% show pro wrestling the love it truly deserves and respect that it deserves. So, thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And, you know, I've been watching wrestling since I was like 3 years old. I'll be 43 this year. So it's been almost like 40 years since I've been watching wrestling. So just I've always had a respect for it. And even just watching, like, you know, growing up and watching some of the documentaries like Tough Enough and was it Beyond the Mat, and just a lot of the biographies and just them telling their stories, you just have a whole respect for them. And it's just like a lot of people don't realize that wrestlers are very underpaid. And I've said that plenty of times. I think I made a short on TikTok about it. Like, they're underpaid. And, you know, like when people was tripping about Mercedes Monet being the highest paid woman in wrestling, it's just like, man, she deserved whatever she could get. She deserved it. And I just hope that her getting that money not just open up the door for women's wrestlers to get paid, but just wrestlers in general to get paid more money, because I think some of the men deserve more. I feel like with the way wrestlers travel, especially in the pros, no wrestler should be making less than 5 million a year. And especially with them being part of TKO and all this other stuff, every wrestler should be getting a raise. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
Independence is a little different, but pros, man, they contract should be talked about on ESPN too.
No, I agree with that statement because I mean, hell, look at UFC fighters for crying out loud. Even if they lose, that's still like
Yeah.
what, three figures that they get
Yep.
from TKO. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And friends of the squared circle said he's got the voice for podcasting. Can you believe this crap, man? I mean, you gave him props and they're talking crap. Well, at least he knows when to show up and not leave his boy hanging. I'm just saying. I'm still
Hey,
gonna give him
tell him I said what up though, and I appreciate the love.
We messing with you, Crandy, buddy. We're messing with you. All right, brother. But yeah, I mean, so you started loving wrestling at an early age, as most of us were. What was some of your earliest memories of pro wrestling?
You know, it's crazy because I grew up through, you know, the golden age when, like, you know, Hulk Hogan, when Hulkamania was really getting started, and they were doing all the stuff with MTV, and Saturday night's main event was coming on. Then you had the Saturday and Sunday shows that came on. And I still remember the LJN action figures and, you know, the thumb wrestlers. Like, I think I've seen every era of wrestling. Like, even after the golden era with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, you had Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and then WCW came along with Nitro and the Monday Night Wars, which was the best era of pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? The Attitude Era and, you know, the Ruthless Aggression Era. Like, I've seen it all. Like, I just a lot of memories. It's too many to really just say. But if I would say one of my favorite memories was just like the whole NWO Sting storyline. just how in that year and a half, 2 years, how they just told a real good story. I hate the way the Hogan and Sting match ended at Starrcade, but overall, I think it was just good storytelling until it just went up in smoke, you know. But that's one of my memories. And one more I want to say, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks main event WrestleMania, two African American women main event. Not that was for me dope. That's something that I thought I would never see. And even when Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship, like watching him and just him putting in the grind and always, and you know, winning all the titles except for the WWE Championship. When he finally won it, for me, that was like one of my favorite moments.
Right, Kofi Mania, man. Everybody remembers Kofi Mania. Personally, I think it should last a little bit longer because I agree with you. I mean, it was historic because for one, Kofi worked his ass off for years in WWE,
definitely.
and for two, he's the very first African American WWE champion.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that. I mean, Ron Simmons can say he was the first African American world champion. Ron the Truth Killings can say he was the first African American NWA champion, which is historic. Not taking that away from him. But WWE champion, Kofi's got that in place. So that's cool.
You know what? I think they give that credit to The Rock. I think with Kofi, I think he was the first African-born WWE champion, something like that.
Did they give credit for that to The Rock?
I think they do give credit because his father is black, so I think
Soul
they
Man
give
Rock
that credit to him.
That's right.
Yeah,
but they look more to his Samoan heritage rather than you know than his African American heritage, which is dumb, but but you know it is what it is. I mean, look at the final boss for crying out loud that he's doing that, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, I would consider Kofi first African American to win the WWE Championship. It may not be accurate, and you know, technically The Rock, no, Kofi, dude. I mean, if anybody deserves that recognition, it's Kofi.
Right,
100%. But yeah, man, you was talking about the main events with Bianca and Sasha. Another one, great, phenomenal event there. What would be if you can change something in pro wrestling? What would it be? If you don't mind me asking, what would you like to see a change of? If you had, I should have asked this the past couple of times. What would you change?
I think I would want to see wrestlers get more pay. I think that I would like to see them have some type of union or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it would be for me. I would like to see them get paid more because just I don't know if you catch it at times when Forbes has the list of the highest paid wrestlers in WWE. Just looking at that sometimes it's just like it's bad, and sometimes it's like it's people that's on TV that you see every week, but when you look at what they make a year, it's just like nah, like I'm on the road 300 days out of the year, and I'm making less than 100,000. No, nah. I think they definitely deserve more pay, especially with all these arenas and pay-per-views, these records they've been breaking on these events. Like some of that money needs to go to the wrestlers.
No, I agree with you there, man, 100%. And Friends of Squared Circle says, to quote Dustin Rhodes, F the Rock. Nah, we ain't taking away what the Rock done, but I'd rather Kofi have that than him. I don't know why. I'd just rather have Kofi do it. But yeah, man, like it's really cool that everything that's happened, especially the past 10 years in pro wrestling. I feel like there's especially, well, I'd say probably since COVID, after COVID, wrestling's had a resurgence. So that's great. And just want to put out here, I want to give myself a pat on the back. I went to the TikTok shop and I just got my order from the Wrestling 313 hoodie.
Appreciate it.
Those are badass. and I'm a sucker for
Thank you.
hoodies. I may buy a hat later on because I seen you had hats too, and I was like, dang it, I love hats as well.
Hey,
I'm
I
getting a hoodie
appreciate
now.
it for real.
Hey, not a problem. And I'll tell you what size shirt do you wear?
For me, I wear a medium.
You wear medium. I tell you what, I was going to give this to a friend, but he can wait. I got a Joe Monroe Show shirt. I'll send it to you, brother.
All right.
Just,
I
just
appreciate it.
for your rep.
Thank you.
No, not a problem.
Thank you.
Not a problem at all. You don't have to pay for it. It's on me. So,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Terry England, the promoter I work with, is probably having a coordinator. You gave him a free shirt. Yes, yes, Terry, I did. But we'll we'll talk after the show here.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like it's really cool to see a lot of podcasters grow, uh,
Yeah.
especially in a specific area. And I think Detroit is one area, even if there's not much going on, like from a history aspect, deserves that
Yeah.
recognition.
Yeah. And it's
So
just like it's just like, um with me doing this podcast, that's just one of the things that I want to, kind of want to branch out and experiment with is going to a few indie shows. And even if I'm not working with the promoter, just being there to show my face, just being there to show, hey, wrestling from the 313 is here. So, people see, be like, hey, what's that? Or what's this here? I could tell them and be like, hey, subscribe, check out the podcast, check out the content or whatever. Just show some love or whatever, just trying to be that new platform for the home state. That's all.
right, and I think I mean if there's not much going on, you possibly nobody's still this idea because I'm going to give it to Mike. Do possibly do some history around the wrestling in Detroit. That could
Oh
be a
yeah.
possibility you can do. Which, if you need help with that, I'm your guy. I mean, I can look at history like crazy.
All right, cool.
Uh, see, all right. So we have Friends in Squared Circle says friends becoming friends. Jared Shane says, as a fellow podcaster located in St. Louis, I love traveling all across the states and supporting as many shows as I can. Yes, thank you.
Shout out to St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah, a lot of wrestling. Again, there's a great wrestling town.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
many people. Well, I say a lot. Some people may know about it, but that's another great wrestling town. Yeah, that recognition. Not that. Oh shoot, Grander Q is here again. Great. Well, we're about to wrap things up here since Grander Q's. Um, But yeah, man. I mean, is there anything that you want to say to the people that are watching either live right now or be watching later today? Is there something you want to say to them?
um, just check out this interview right here, and just go to Wrestling from the 313, the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Watch the episodes. Got some cool guests on there. I've even jumped on there by myself. When I wanted to get that itch again, or get that motivation, to get back podcasting and stuff, because working and daily routine, sometimes you get tired. So sometimes I just get on there by myself and just rant and talk or whatever. But yeah, just show love to Wrestling from the 313. If you're from Detroit, you want to be on the show, or any wrestlers or whatever, reach out to me. I'll get back to you. And even if outside of Michigan, you know what I'm saying, I'm always open to having other wrestlers, podcasters, media, social media influencers, and stuff like that. So that's the dope thing about podcasting is it's always different ideas, and there's always room to grow. Like, everybody got a different hustle. We all on that hustle trying to, make it to the top, or, make it to a point where, we benefiting, getting monetized or whatever, or just getting some type of big break from a media station or something. But it's just it's a hustle in the grind, but it's a fun hustle in the grind if you let it, So that's all I'm really trying to do, just trying to do something that I enjoy doing in podcasting, talking about wrestling, talking about sports. You know, I sometimes I get on Mayhem Media. I've done a couple of his football episodes. Well, we'll probably be doing a basketball episode soon. So, you know, I'm always just open to doing other things and just promoting the brand, man. You know, putting the 313 on the map. So, you know, I don't want to keep ranting, but you know, just follow Wrestling from the 313 and get down with the 313.
So yeah, no, dude, you rant all you want to. I mean, I don't care. But you know this. Oh God, now mention my number one beard, unlike Leroy. No, sorry, dude. No, I'm number one beard now. You left this man hanging. I'm number one. So go away. Trust me, I'm a nice. Oh God. Yeah. Podcasting. So J. Red Shannon, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Podcasting is all about having fun and escaping that reality and just being in that environment where you can just speak out about your passion and love the industry 100%.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. And plus, making new friends, just sharing our love for professional wrestling. Uh, you know, I was, I'll talk to you about something when we get off camera because I think it's a good idea. I've already talked to Crander Q about it. Unfortunately, he got the idea. He'll probably say it's his. This is how you guys. This is how you guy blocked y'all. All right, Crander, that's enough from you. All right, so you know what? We're past 30 minutes here. Go check out Mike D Wrestling from the 313 on Facebook, YouTube. Go check out their TikTok shop. Get the awesome hoodie. Get the awesome hats. I just now ordered myself one, so I'll probably be having it on soon. Actually, delivery says anywhere between the 5th and the 11th. That's pretty freaking quick. So I'll be sending this out hopefully pretty soon to you, man. The shirt.
When it come, you know, take a picture, you know, put it on social media, you know.
As soon as I get it, I'm putting it on. I'm a hoodie guy. So.
And I do the same. Hey, I do the same thing too.
I'm just like, cool. My shirt comes. But
and also too, we got coffee mugs on there. So if you a coffee or a tea drinker, you know what I'm saying, get you a mug, you know, have part of your collection and stuff like that. So
man, don't say that. My wife drinks coffee like she's like a crackhead when it comes to coffee. Come on, I'm kidding. We'll check it out. I'll ever check it out, bro. But you know, it's been fun having you on, bro. Hopefully we get to do this again. We may have a group or something come on together. Me, you, Crander Q, and possibly Mayhem Media might do something in the future.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that a little more here in just a moment. But until next time, folks, this is going to be the last episode this week. And next week, we'll be back Sunday for another episode of Podcasters Appreciation Month. But until then, thank you all for tuning in. Have a safe and great night. And always, always, always support professional wrestling. Take care.
Peace.